Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tea and Tarot. So, I am Kate. I'm also known as the Daily Tarot Girl. And today I have a special guest with us. This is Mari. And Mari is we're going to be talking about tarot. We're going to be talking about artwork. And then in the second half, we're going to be pulling cards for people and doing some one-card readings. So I just want to take a moment to say welcome to Mari. I'm so happy to have you here and to chat about tarot with you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I'm really excited, a little nervous. Like I said, it's been a while since I've done any kind of live, but it's really good to be here.
Yeah, well, I'm happy to have you here. So Mari is a teacher alongside me. We're both teachers, tarot teachers in this year's Tarot Summer School. So if you haven't heard of Tarot Summer School, it's 12 different tarot teachers, 12 different courses, and you can sign up for a season's pass or just for the individual courses. And I'm going to post those links below for those of you who are watching. Actually, I'll post them in the chat for those of you who are interested and want to check it out. And Mari am I pronouncing your name right? Mari?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Okay. So Mari is an artist, and she has created her own tarot deck. And I think you said you have a new oracle deck coming out pretty soon as well.
Yeah, my friend Fire, it's actually almost done being printed. So yeah, we did the Kickstarter. Pre-orders will be opening soon. Yeah.
Nice. And you're the creator of the Gentle Tarot.
Yeah, the Gentle Tarot. So it'll be the Gentle Tarot and my friend Fire. And I'm about to release another version of the Gentle Tarot, like the Dream Deck, with like different colors and things.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah. And your course in Tarot Summer School is all about healing through divination art. So I kind of wanted to pick your brain about that. Mm-hmm. I really enjoy doing art. I like painting. I like drawing. And so I wanted to ask you a little bit about your process and what is divination art, if you don't mind sharing.
Yeah. Well, oh my gosh, also there's all these comments. Hi, Nicole. I don't know how to do both at the same time, but hi.
I know.
See you guys. So, and Augustina. But so yeah, I guess it all started when creating the Gentle Tarot. That was my first really big project where I was creating divination art, like art for a divination deck. And what came up for me was really natural and also has evolved over time, like especially with the creation of my friend Fire. So I guess what I'm calling divination art could also be considered like just like art for healing, like deeper feelings or processing or integrating, like any kind of like deeper emotional work. But also it just falls so smoothly into place with like divination themes and like with tarot, like archetypes, and especially with working on this oracle deck, so much came up, and it's like this whole new world, and it feels just like so like fluid.
Nice. So can you tell us a little bit about your course and what kinds of stuff you get into in your course?
Yeah. So in the course, Textures of the Soul, I basically guide the students. We go on this journey together of the process that I've come up with for my own work. So I have kind of a step-by-step that I do for myself, like before creating the art, and also ways to kind of, if you feel stuck or you're not able to get to anything, I have other kind of exercises that are both like creative but also kind of therapeutic. So it's a real mix of how to get to a place where you can connect with that creative, like to start, so you can get to that creative point and like really also like liberate yourself from any kind of blockages, and to be comfortable with whatever comes out. But so yeah, it's the first time I'm ever sharing like my personal process for creating divination art. And so yeah, I'm really excited to share it.
I'm excited to do your course. I think it looked kind of different from a lot of the other courses.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that I haven't really explored. Like I've explored art and painting and stuff, but divination art specifically,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm excited to learn like what your process is. I
Mm-hmm.
just started I just have recently got back into painting after like not really painting anything for like a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And I started by taking this workshop online. And one of the beginning exercises was to do a painting in 3 minutes. So you set your timer for 3 minutes and you just do it super fast. Like you just get the paint, you know, it doesn't have to be good or anything. And you do it in like 3 minutes. And that was so freeing for me. And so then I was like, I love that process. So then I did like a few more paintings and they're just like, they're messy, they're chaotic, but they're not terrible. And I'm like, I can't believe I started this, like, did this in like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But there's something about finding like the right kind of process to really kind of free up your intuition. I think it's the same with tarot reading too.
Yeah.
Finding like kind of a method, a process for like connecting with the cards.
Mm-hmm.
And would you say like how has your relationship to tarot changed since you created your own deck?
Yeah, it's it's been interesting. I feel like it's allowed me to really connect more deeply with the art and the energy, you know, like even the line work and the symbolism. I feel like I pay a lot more attention to detail. And I really like to sit with the card, even if it's just briefly before looking at the guidebook, just to like really kind of soak in like what was the intention behind, you know, the color choice and the subjects and all.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And tell us a little bit about your new Oracle deck.
Okay. Well, I'm so excited about it. It's called My Friend Fire. I have it right here. This is just a prototype, but I'm really excited about it because
I love the cat card.
it's the first time that I'm creating anything that is outside of the tarot structure. So it really took me a long time to really it's just so intuitive, like it's 100% intuition, you know what I mean, and trusting and like allowing it to evolve. So like this is one of the bonus cards. We started off with like one bonus card and now we have like five. um but so yeah, and there's five suits, and it's the main theme is really connecting like with your fire, with your inner fire, and that can
Mhm.
be translated as like either your creative spark or your life energy, your desires, your creative energy. Um, so it all has to do with really a process of like healing and transforming. So yeah, so the suits are listening, nourishment, expansion, reflection, and transformation, and it's kind of and each suit has its own kind of journey too.
Right.
So yeah, it's different. The art is different than the Gentle Tarot. I feel like it's a little similar, but there's also kind of a lot more time spent on the artwork in this deck compared to the Gentle Tarot. Oh my gosh, I'm sharing cards that have never been shared before. But
It's beautiful. It is I just like all the colors and like how bright it is and how happy it is.
thank you. So yeah, I'm very, very excited about it. And it's the first of five. So I'm gonna be making one for each element companion decks for the Gentle Tarot.
Nice, nice. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us. And I know when we get into doing for pulling cards for people, you said you were going to be using your new deck. So I'm
Yeah.
really excited to see that deck in action.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So how long have you been into tarot for?
Since 2010.
Okay.
That's started. It was a little later in life, like after college for me. Um and And yeah, it's been a journey. Like it started with a really amazing card pull by a couple of friends before I was leaving on this epic
Mhm.
journey. I, like, was in Seattle and I quit all my jobs and left hitchhiking with a backpack. Um, and it just, I don't know, it just kind of, I feel like I've always been intuitive and I've always felt like I was like, receiving like communication in other ways and like connecting with my intuition, but using cards was in 2010, that time was like the really first time it was like physical. It's like, oh my gosh, it's such a physical, direct experience that can be shared too with other people, which is really cool. So yeah, since then I've been really, really into cards, and not just tarot, but oracle as well.
Mhm. And
Yeah.
how did you find like the process of creating a tarot deck versus creating an oracle deck? Did you find one easier than the other, or was it just like a different process?
Yeah, definitely creating a tarot deck was much easier just because all of the structure is already there. I just had to tap into each one in my own way, but it was definitely a lot easier because it's like, okay, like this exists. I mean, at first I was hesitant because it's like, who am I to like create a deck? There's so many out there and I felt really new, but so yeah, the tarot deck was much easier. I feel like the oracle deck, now that I've created one, I have a better understanding of the process and I love it so much because it is a lot more creative and intuitive. But it was definitely hard. It took me a lot longer. This one took over 3 years, and the Gentle Tarot took 3 months. The original. So yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to read some comments out. Augustina, you said my tarot journey started with the Gentle Tarot. That's cool. Seeing the people that looked like me in a tarot deck felt really supportive. Nice.
Thank you, Augustina.
And Elaine says they're going to bed. Okay, good night. Good night, Elaine. Thanks for being here. Cool. Okay. Yeah, Nicole says, love the kitty card. I love that kitty card too. I'm a sucker for any card with a cat on it, though. Okay. So Brittany says, what helped you or challenged you in making your tarot deck?
That's a good question. Um, I really think one thing that helped me, and it might be particular to my situation, but I started creating the Gentle Tarot when I was off grid. So I didn't have internet, I didn't have any connection with anything. And it was really, like I just to be isolated in that way and to not have like all this other stimulation or like trying to look for things. So I feel like really just like honing into what was manifesting intuitively was really helpful. But I think what was challenging was really just the start, like a lot of imposter syndrome and like dealing with all the mental stuff that was kind of blocking my desire to make a deck. That was probably the hardest. And
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
So I want to know more about going off grid. Tell me more about that. How long were you off grid for?
Well, I used to have the seasonal job. I had it for 7 years, and every summer I was off grid, and it would be anywhere between 2 or 4 months. My favorite was the 4 months because it's like a solid amount of the year. Um, but yeah, it's the favorite job I've had ever. It was working for the Department of Fish and Game here in Alaska, and
Mhm.
you basically get put out on a river, on a remote river where salmon are migrating to spawn. And you count the salmon and you measure the salmon. So it's like a tech job, but it's biology. You don't need a degree, but it's just like you live out there, you live among the bears and the eagles,
Mhm.
and the foxes and the wolves and the wolverines, and it's wild. And yeah, you just coexist and you're out there, and it's with one other person usually. So
Wow, I bet you get to know that person really well.
yeah. luckily it was just a lot of good people that, want to be in that kind of lifestyle.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like that's kind of almost like a necessity for being creative, is like sort of removing yourself from the noise of society and especially like the online world. Like I don't know how anyone is creative if they're spending lots of time online.
Actually, I hit a pretty big roadblock when I was making my friend fire, just because the news and everything was just so heavy. It was shutting me down, and I couldn't. It's like I couldn't do anything. So actually, I did for the beginning of this year. Like there were 2 or 3 months where I just didn't, go online,
Right.
and it feels necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely necessary to have that break. Um, I'm just reading some of the comments here. Oh, there's lots of questions. Okay, cool. Okay, so the next question is, what is the next? This is from Nicole. What is the next element deck you will be working on? I think I heard that you will be making more decks like my friend Fire.
Yeah. So it's interesting. Interesting question. I think I don't have an answer for it yet. I think originally I felt like the water element was going to be next, but it might be earth. It might be earth, just like, yeah, feeling into like that grounding energy. But yeah, so there will be one like companion deck for each element. And they're not going to be all called my friend and then the
Oh,
element. They're going to have different names. It was just, this is my friend fire is particular to my friend fire.
okay. Okay. Um,
Just
Conquistadum says the news is meant to steal your energy. Yeah, I definitely feel like my energy gets sapped when I read, not even just the news. I think social media in general, I feel kind of saps my energy. Okay, I'm just scrolling to see if there's any other questions. Sky Tarot says, I think this comment's for me. You did a reading for me and now it's starting and I'm now doing successful live TikTok tarot readings and getting paid for it. Awesome. Yay. Congrats. Okay. Okay, so I have a question for you about, being an artist and working on your artwork. Because for me personally, like, and I wouldn't call myself an artist. I just like dabbling and painting and sketching and stuff like that. But I find that I go through phases where I'm like really into it, I'm doing it all the time, and then I kind of lose interest for really long periods of time, like a year or two, and then I get back into it again. So what helps you stay consistent with your art practice?
I'm not sure that I am consistent, to be
Okay.
honest. I
Yeah.
feel like there's definitely necessary pauses, and I think one thing that has helped me is to like accept them. It's like, okay, like this is where I'm at. It's okay, because I feel like in the past it'd be stressful, or I would start to doubt myself, or is it gonna come back ever? But I think now I understand that it's part of the process, and my body like needs different things at different times. So yeah, it feels. Did I answer the question? Did I
Yes.
miss the question?
I
Okay.
love your answer. Like because
No,
I feel like a lot of people watching this are probably into tarot and they might be able to relate to this and that like their relationship with tarot isn't always consistent. I hear that from people all the time. They're like, I've been reading tarot off and on for, 20 years and I'll get into it and then I won't touch the cards for, 3 years and then I'll get back into it again and then I won't do it for a while. And so I think I like what you said that like sometimes you just need a break from things and you're not always consistent. That I find that that's really interesting.
and I think we need other things too. I mean, at least personally, it's like I need to like focus on other creative outlets.
Hmm. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So what other kind of creative stuff, what other ways do you explore your creativity?
My most favorite, the one that is closest to my heart, really more than like art and illustrating, is experimenting with sound. So I collect instruments from all over the world, and I record mostly for myself. Like it's not like, oh, but yeah, I feel like I heal a lot with sound, and I feel like that's my passion, creative outlet for sure.
Nice. Awesome.
And cooking, cleaning, I think is an art too. So, you know.
I like cleaning. There's something cathartic and satisfying about cleaning for me. I always like activities that I know I can do, where
Yeah.
it's like, right? You're just like, this is so easy to just vacuum.
Yeah.
I know I can succeed at this. Okay, there's a question from someone about your course. The question is it live or recorded? So, all the courses in Tarot Summer School are recorded, so they're pre-recorded. There is some live components. So there's a couple of live campfire Zoom calls happening within Tarot Summer School. I think there's one left because we already had one. But yes, the courses are all pre-recorded. And what is your course called again, Mari?
It's Textures of the Soul, Healing with Divination Art.
Okay, I'm just going to post a link in the comments if anyone wants to check out your course and sign up. Okay. Just scrolling to see if there's any more questions. Nicole says creativity cannot be scheduled. Yeah, although sometimes it has to be. Because sometimes I find if I just wait to be inspired, I never get inspired. But if I like block out like a 2-hour block of time to just write no matter what or paint no matter what, then sometimes I feel creative eventually, not in the beginning. Yeah. Okay. Do you feel like, here's another question for you. Question for Mari. How is it feeling being back in Alaska? What was spending time in Mexico like as far as connecting to your roots?
Yeah, that's a big one. It's actually feeling really good to be back in Alaska. I hadn't been gone for this long. It was really about a year. It feels really good to be home and just, I don't know, being back in Lakapi in my art studio and feeling just how peaceful it is. Really just reminds me of all of the energy that we've put into the property here. And just the trees and the water. I don't know. It was just really like I needed it. I didn't know how much I needed it. But hi from Mexico. And yeah, spending time in Mexico, it's definitely not over. It's not done. I feel like that was just the beginning, and I was, as far as connecting with my roots, it's a little complicated because where my family's from is not Mexico City, which is where I'm based right now. But I'm unable to go back to where my family's from just because it's not a stable area. But being able to return to like actively be in ceremony and have a group that I dance with and do ceremony with is just like everything that I've been needing. And it's really, it just feels really special to have community around that again and have a place. And I'm excited. I'm excited. It's hard to be, divided between two places, but I'm definitely thankful for both and excited to be back in Mexico. And I don't know when, but I'm also really enjoying being home.
Nice. So one question is, have either of you ever experimented with shamanic journeying?
Are you asking? You want me to go first?
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what shamanic journeying is, but
Yeah, I think I'm guessing what they mean is like, so the shamanic journeying that I've done is where you listen to drumming, and it's like rhythmic drumming, like it's very repetitive. And
yeah.
you start the meditation with like an intention, like maybe you're gonna visit the lower world, or you're going to connect with your spirit animal, or something like that. Have you done that kind of stuff?
Yeah, actually, I used to be part of a new moon group, and we used to do that in our new moon group. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. I love it. I love it because it's so visual, and I feel like that's also connected to kind of how I work with like divination art is like accessing that kind of really
Yes.
open, free space, or, like allowing. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah. I've definitely experimented with shamanic journeying quite a bit. And right now I do something, I'm working with the gateway tapes. I don't know if anyone in the comments has heard of the gateway tapes from the Monroe Institute, but it's basically, I don't know if it's binaural beats but it's like certain tones in
Mm-hmm.
your ear, and it kind of puts you into a certain brainwave state, and it's really just helpful for meditation. And then there's usually like a voice sort of guiding you on a bit of a journey.
That
But
sounds yeah.
yeah, I've been doing lots of that. So how do you feel, Mari, about transitioning into doing some readings for people in the comments?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay. I'm just shuffling my deck. I'm going to be reading with the This Might Hurt Tarot deck by
Right?
Isabella Rotman. And I'll start things off. So I will pick someone from the comments who would like a reading. So if you're watching live and you want me to pull a card for you, let me know in the comments. And you can ask a specific question, or you can just say, pull a card for me, and I can give you just a general reading as well. Okay, Meredith. Hey, Meredith. How can I be more powerful and effective in my life right now? All right. Okay, so the card I have for you is Page of Swords. Interesting. Okay. So the Page of Swords, like all the pages are they're students, they're learning, they're figuring things out. So one way for you to be more powerful and more effective in your life right now is to embrace learning and be comfortable being a novice at certain things. And it's funny because I remember having this conversation with this woman that I met once. I was traveling through Crete, and I met this woman who was an American, and I forget what state she was from. But we had this conversation, and she said, "I've always wanted to learn to play a musical instrument. I've always wanted to do this, but I won't do it because I don't want to be bad at playing a musical instrument. And I know that when you first start learning something, you're going to be bad at it because you have to be for a certain amount of time until you learn it." And she's like, "I'm just not willing to be bad at it, so I'm never going to learn it." And I thought that's so tragic. Like anything that I've ever been good at, gotten good at in life, I've been bad at it for a significant period of time first before I could get good at it. And that's what I'm thinking when I look at in all the pages, actually, not just the Page of Swords, but you have to be willing to be a novice at something. You have to be willing to kind of feel around in the dark before you find something. You have to be willing to be a student and not be perfect at something. So that's the one thing, is to embrace learning. And I also think the Page of Swords, he's a little chaotic. It's like he is trying to find firm footing on ground that keeps shifting. And so I would say to you to embrace the movement and the shifting that's happening in your life, and don't try to be an expert. Don't try to have all the answers. Don't try to feel strong and powerful. Just embrace the chaos a little bit. Embrace the shifting and the changing and the movement. So that's my advice for you, Meredith. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your question, for letting me read for you. Now, Mari, if you want to pick whoever you want to pull a card for, feel free.
Oh, should we just go down the list, or?
Yeah, you can go down the list if that's easiest for you. I just randomly will kind of pick
Oh,
someone, but yeah.
okay. Lois asked, "What is no longer serving me?" Okay. Whoa. We got channel. I don't know if it's focusing at all, but
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
so this is, I love this for this question because it's from the transformation suit. It has the purple border. So it's like the final suit in the deck. And this card is about connecting like with your center and like allowing things to like energy, thoughts, like anything that needs to just come in and out, like flow through it, move through. So it's interesting for this question, what is no longer serving me? And there's just like a lot of like fluidity in this card. Like, I guess how I would interpret it would be like maybe it's not serving you to like block that flow or like to block the channel within you and allow for transformation that wants to happen. Maybe.
I like it. That sounds good. That's a beautiful card too. It's like that person is like dancing in the cosmos or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna pull a card for Nicole. All right. What do I need to know right now? And I don't know, Mari, if you want to pull a card for her too, we can we can each pull a card. Okay. So what you need to know right now, Nicole, is the Hangman, but reversed. Now this is kind of wild because the Hangman is already reversed when he's upright. So you have him reversed, which actually makes him upright. So what does that mean? I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. So let me start by reading the Hangman upright, and then we'll reverse him. So upright, the Hanged Man is about, to me, this is a very spiritual card. This is about going on an inward journey. And it can come up when you feel like you don't have control over things in your life, and or you feel like you're not moving along on a trajectory that you'd had planned, and you feel frustrated by that. So it kind of forces you to go inward and confront your thoughts, your feelings, your energy, your own, spiritual path. So this is about inward journey as opposed to an outward journey, because I think that oftentimes that's when we start to do the inward work, is when the outward world is just not working for us. And some of us are just drawn to do a lot of inner work and journeying anyway. But I think for most of us, it's often when we're kind of forced to to move inward. However, you have this card reversed. So I feel like it's showing that things are starting to flip around for you. So the last few months or so maybe has felt like a lot of things are outside of your control and you've had to do a lot of inner work. And things you may already kind of sense this, things are starting to shift, and all that inner work that you're doing is starting to pay off, and you're starting to sort of see results, and you're starting to feel perhaps prior to this, you were feeling like everything's kind of topsy-turvy and up is down and down is up, and things are starting to make a little bit more sense in your world. Hopefully that resonates with you, Nicole. What card did you get, Mari?
I got Joy is Essential, which is pretty straightforward. And it's from the expansion suit. So there is like that energy of like allowing expansion and being open. But yeah, this card is yeah, like I said, pretty straightforward. It's just reminding you to prioritize joy and really make time and space for what makes you happy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Thanks for letting us read for you, Nicole. Okay.
How about Augustina? Just some general guidance? Okay. We got Free to Be, and this is from the Nourishment suit. So there's a theme of really focusing like on your nourishment and reflecting on your like what you want in life and what you want from yourself, like how you want to exist, and remembering that you're free to be whatever you want to be. So yeah,
That's a beautiful card.
thanks. Well, I hope that felt good, Augustina.
Okay, I'm gonna pull a card for. Let's see. Okay. Andy. Guidance for where to go and what to do September onwards. All options on the table. Okay. All right. So guidance on where to go, what to do September onwards. Okay. So the card I have for you, ooh, it's another reversal. I forgot that I'd reversed a few cards in this deck. So it's another reversal. It's the King of Swords upside down. So I just have to look at him right side up first. Interesting. I feel like this card doesn't really give you a lot of guidance on where to go, but maybe on what to do. So the King of Swords, I'm not gonna lie, he's a stuffy card. This is a really stuffy card. He's very analytical. He takes things really seriously, and the fact that he's showing up upside down, I feel like this card is really encouraging you to maybe step out of your comfort zones a little bit and to not do things in a really linear, by the book kind of way. So you're asking, what to do, what to focus on September onwards. And King of Swords upside down is saying, you maybe have been kind of stuck in a rut for a while, and it's time to set yourself free and do something a little bit different. And again, there might be a part of you that wants to do something that's more conventional and familiar. But King of Swords upside down, I feel like it's saying, you know what, you might want to play around with doing something a little bit unconventional, maybe a little bit unfamiliar. And there might be a part of you screaming, no, that's not a good idea. I should do something I'm familiar with. But I do feel like the King of Swords is kind of encouraging you to to be less, not that I'm saying you're a stuffy person like the King of Swords, but I think that you probably have a part of you that is very sensible, very analytical. And then there's a part of you that's a little more wild and unconventional. And King of Swords reverse is saying, maybe it's time to let the more unconventional part of you lead just for a little bit. So that's what I got. Okay, so thanks for letting me read for you, Andy.
How about Josephine? Pointed Logic Tarot.
Okay.
I didn't realize there were so many in the chat.
Yeah, there's lots of people here, hey? And thanks everyone for being here and for hanging out with us and joining us.
It's fun. Okay. Should we both do one or why not?
Well, how about you do one for,
Okay.
and then I'll pick a different person after this. Does that sound good? Okay.
Wow. We got Allow, which is also from the transformation suit. And I feel like I've pulled this same card for a very similar question when reading for myself. Um, but yeah, I feel like this card reminds you that you are it kind of allows you to zoom out, and it's like we're all part of like this cosmic whole, and there's there's potential for transformation when we allow. And I love the imagery on this one because it's like calm and fluid. It's like the water is just like gently flowing. And yeah, and the other part of this card too is like that feeling when you're in water in a stream that is like just like slowly moving, and just the way it like caresses you and comforts you. And yeah, so I hope that resonated, Josephine.
Okay. I'm going to pull a card for SL. I'd love a reading on what my next year will bring for me. I'm turning 29. All right. Well, happy birthday whenever your birthday is. And I'm going to pull a card for you here. What will next year bring? Oh, 5 of Swords. Not the card I wanted to see here. Okay, so 5 of Swords. I think that there's going to be some, 5 of Swords, obviously this is kind of a crappy card. I feel like you will be questioning some of your friendships and some of your relationships in your 29th year. So there's something that's going to happen to you where you're getting a little bit older, you're getting wiser, and the kinds of people you've welcomed into your life and nurtured relationships with, you're going to start to be using more discernment about your relationships and who you want to connect with. So I think that there might be a little bit in your 29th year, there might be a little bit of kind of kind of movement, shuffling around, letting certain relationships go, healing certain relationships. And it will be interesting because some relationships that you have right now will transform and might become healthier, and you may heal certain things, and certain relationships won't be able to withstand change and healing, and so they will sort of recede into the background. It might not be like a really dramatic, like cutting someone off. It might just be a friendships that just kind of drift away. So that's kind of what I see for you. It's like you start to reprioritize like what is important to you when it comes to friendship and the kinds of people that you're associating with and socializing with. Yeah, so that's what I see for you. And happy birthday again.
Did we do Samantha? No, Samantha?
All right.
Or okay. Okay. Wow, we're getting a lot of transformation cards today. Not that I do this ever, but we got another transformation card, and this one is called Deep Cry. It can be either like literally like it would help to have a deep cry, but also it's about, I don't know if you could see, there's like some little lungs in here, but it's another theme about allowing, like, and just thinking about transformation, like, in your life. But it's so besides, like, maybe suggesting that you could use a deep cry, it's also about reflecting on, like, what lies underneath, like, all of the things that we kind of stir up when we have a deep cry. There may be things that we've repressed or not giving energy to, and just being able to sit with them and give them some space. And to also remember that, just like the moon, it's like we're cyclical, everything has its own time, and it's okay to feel what you need to feel. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Mari. Okay. So, Nicole is giving me some feedback on the reversed hangman. Okay, you said, I love the fact that the hangman is reversed. Feels like that has been where I have been. And yes, things are definitely turning around. Perfect. Yay. And she said, yes, I do have so much joy happening in my life right now. I think that was in relation to the card that you pulled for her. Okay. Chelsea says, can I ask a question? You sure can. And the question is, am I moving to the US within 5 months? So I don't do predictive readings, like, especially when it's like specific, like, am I going to move? but I can still pull you a card and just see kind of what comes up. I'm just not good at like predicting specific things. But let's shuffle the cards and see what card comes up. Okay, am I moving to the US within 5 months? All right, so the card you got is Two of Wands. Now, this is interesting because she's holding a map. So she's on a road trip and she's holding a map. And in other decks, they will show the Two of Wands with someone holding a globe, like, or holding the earth in their hand. And the Two of Wands isn't so much a card of movement, but it's a card of pause and figuring out where it is that you want to go. So it's about kind of stopping, pausing, maybe moving inward, and looking at where you've come from and where you want to go, and kind of figuring out, like, getting your bearings straight and figuring out, where do I want to go? What do I want to put my energy into? So that's that's not a clear answer for you. The fact that she's on a car, but the car isn't moving. The car is parked and she's sitting and she's looking at the map and she's kind of like, where am I on this map and where do I need to go and how can I get back on track? So it could go either way with this card. See, this is why I don't do predictive readings. I'm not good at predictions. But yeah, it could go either way. It feels like you might actually find yourself questioning yourself on whether you want to move to the US. There might be other options and other places you might think of moving to. Yeah, so I feel like over the next few months might be a time of pausing and moving inward and figuring out, where do I want to go? Where do I want to put my energy? Yeah, thanks for letting me read for you, Chelsea.
Augustina's asking what deck is that, and that's the This Might Hurt, right?
Oh, yeah. The deck I'm using is the This Might Hurt by Isabella Rotman.
I can do one for Janessa.
Okay, Janessa. Is she near the bottom? Janessa?
The username is FREKD.
Oh, I see. Okay. Got it.
I never do readings. This is kind of fun.
Yeah, I know you said that. You're like, I never do this. I never read for people. I'm so glad you're up for the challenge, though.
Okay. For Janessa, we got Connection. And this is from the expansion suit. So it's inviting expansion. And I feel like with the themes of this Oracle deck, like I like it's the borders are super obvious, and I feel like it'd be nice if like, just like take a deep breath with like whatever the suit is. Like expansion, like maybe like deep breath and like expansion, like what does that feel like? Maybe allow it. But this connection card, I love it so much. It's reminding us that like we're connected to the spirit realm, we're connected to like our source and our power and our guidance, and it's really not that far away. So it's just like it's like a reminder that it's as close as it can be, and also just like encouraging connection, and whatever connection means to you, or whatever kind of connection you think you need. This one obviously is like more like nature related, but yeah, I hope that feels good, Janessa. Thanks for asking.
I think I want a reading from the Friend Fire deck. I want you to pull a card for me.
You want one right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't joking.
Just like a general.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't have any questions.
What? You got the card that you like?
Oh the cat card, yes.
So this is from the nourishment suit. So it's kind of reminding you to bring in some nourishment into your world, into your space. And it's the very first card of the nourishment suit. So like each suit is like its own journey. So this is like the very first card, like really introducing like nourishment into your life, and it starts with trust. And I wanted to use a cat because you really gotta. They really have to feel comfortable to roll over on their back, and it's like, and I think it's also has come up for me a lot in just like questions about like my relation to like fear or like the world, and just how I feel in my body, and like really remembering that we need to nourish ourselves with like trust. And
Yeah.
yeah.
That's beautiful. Thank you. My cat just started meowing in the background, so I think she approved. She approves of the message. All right, so we've got time for a couple of more readings, and then we will wrap up. So I'm gonna do a reading for. There's so many people here. Okay. Swaro, hello. Okay, Swaro, I'm gonna pull a card for you. All right, can I have a general reading? Okay. All right. So the card you got is 5 of Cups. I feel like we've been getting a lot of 5s today. I think the last one was a 5. So 5 of Cups. The message of 5 of Cups is I should say the challenge of the 5 of Cups is to acknowledge disappointments when they come up, and acknowledge, like, being able to see the negative stuff and acknowledge the disappointments, but to also acknowledge the good things. So when I look at this card, I see there's the 3 spilled cups, but then there's the 2 cups in the background or behind the person, and it's almost like they have little flames above them. And so those cups are still full and they're glowing, and those are the good things. So the challenge here is when something doesn't work out, when something goes awry, or you're frustrated by something, the challenge is you don't want to pretend it's not happening or it's not there. You need to look at it and acknowledge it and process it. But while you're doing that, don't turn your back on all the good things too. So being able to hold that space for the shitty stuff that's really frustrating and getting you down, but then also the really, really good stuff that is nourishing for you, that lights you up, that supports you, that brings you life, the things that you're excited about, and being able to hold a space for both of those things. That's kind of the message of the Five of Cups. I hope that made sense, Swaro. Okay, and Mari, let me know who you want to read for the last reading.
Yeah, I have like the worst memory, so I can't even tell.
Do you want me to pick someone for you?
Sure. I'm not good with divination stuff though. If there's a
Yeah.
general...
Okay, I'll pick you something really easy. Okay, there is a comment way at the top that I want to put on the screen. Let me just find it. Jessica. Okay. General reading.
Okay. These are like some of the first readings ever done with this deck. Well,
that's cool.
I did buy some prototypes, but it feels fun. Okay. Okay, Jessica. We got another nourishment suit card. And this one can also be read pretty literally. It's titled Breathe, and it's inviting like pause, but also physically like breathing. Like a lot of times we don't like breathe fully, or maybe we're holding on to too much like anxiety or stress, and we're not like fully allowing our system to breathe. So this is like a little reminder to take some moments to take some deep breaths and remember to nourish yourself. So,
Nice, beautiful. That's a nice closing reading. So I'm just gonna I just want to say to everyone, thank you so much for joining us and letting us read for you. If you're interested in taking Mari's course, and Mari, when does your course go live in Tarot Summer School?
I think it's I think it's the 21st, maybe.
Oh, okay. So not for a little bit.
But I'm actually not 100% sure.
Okay. Well, I will post the link to it.
My brain doesn't hold on the numbers.
I feel like it's happening like next week or the week after that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just posted it in the comments if anyone is interested in checking that out. And thank you so much for coming on, Mari, and doing readings. And I feel it feels really special that these were like some of the first readings you've done with your new deck.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. It was really fun.
And where can people find you? I put some of your links in the little info thing just below the video, like your website and stuff like that. But where's a good place for people to find you if they want to purchase your tarot deck or find out more about you?
Honestly, my newsletter is the best place. I actually lost access to my Instagram. I have someone helping me there, but really the newsletter and my Patreon is super active. A lot of my Patreon members are here. It's really nice to have you guys. And yeah, and I have a Kickstarter that might be launching like really soon. We're just trying to finalize the whole like shipping and tariff situation.
So your newsletter, how would people find that?
I can give you a link that you can put in the description.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm just Googling it right now. I'm seeing if I'm gonna be able to find the.
I can give it to you right now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh geez. Oh, my notes. The iCloud is loading. I'm sorry. I should have had this like beforehand.
No worries. You know what? You can just email it to me and I'll add it to the video after.
Okay.
I feel like I found it somewhere on one of your websites, but I didn't think it was.
I mean, it's also on the website. Like if you just scroll down on the homepage, there's also a little box signing up. But it looks like I have access. Like I have it. Okay, so I can copy paste it for you.
Okay.
Okay. So do I just put it in the chat? No.
Yeah.
Private chat?
If you're able to, yeah, however you're able to send it to me. I'm not sure how this works. No one's ever typed me something on this thing.
Okay. So yeah, it's in the private chat because I couldn't access the regular chat.
Private chat. I don't know how to find that.
Oh, it's right next to the comments.
Oh, I see it. Okay. Thanks. All right. I'm gonna copy paste it. Copy.
And thank you all for whoever joins my course. I'm excited about it.
There it is. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So thank you so much for being here, Mari. And thank you everyone for being here as well. And I hope everyone has a fantastic summer.
Yeah.
Bye everyone.